Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is another Dragonheir Silence God video. Guys, this is the second video of a three-part series where I show you my comps and I'm trying to divide them by affinity pairing. I've already done one for Fire Necrosis and that one was recorded before the 50% mark on the HP of the boss. So the skills are slightly changed now and we have to deal with the decreased attack, the stun, which are quite complication in terms of composing your comp and redefining maybe timing sometimes. But I'm running pretty much the same comps as before. As you can see, the Necrosis one, I've basically swapped out Zadok and I put in Gladros to try to basically protect from the decreased attack. And I'm still doing around 100 million, which is a big step down because I've been able to push that comp up to 150 before the 50% mark. And the fire comps is pretty much the same. That comps was doing around 130 million. Let me check. I have it over here. Under 31 million top, basically. But with the decreased attack, we have a little bit of a reduction. Now, today I'm able to do 104 million, which is still pretty decent in my opinion. All-Mister brings the debuff immunity on his battle skill, so sometimes you avoid that decreased attack. So it's not too bad. The comps run smoothly, it's fully auto, both of them are fully auto. But today we're going to talk about the lightning and poison pairing. So the two comps that you can see at the bottom basically. One is the totally free to play with 3 rare and 2 epics. And the bottom one, it's definitely not so easy to put together. There are many legendaries there. So I'm not expecting everybody to be able to run this comp, but it's still nice to see how you can run it. And in particular, the contribution from a champion that was wildly considered terrible, and that champion is Nissa. She always been considered terrible this season. She was considered the worst of the legendary. And I have to say, now I am totally sold on her. She does a lot of damage, even not in damaged gear. She brings so much to this comp, boosting the damage overall incredibly. So these two comps basically before the 50% mark, we're able to do way more damage, in particular the poison one, where I've pushed basically the 120 million, 118 roughly. It was really good because as you can see, it's very low budget. I don't have legendary artifacts, so I was running very simple builds. We can have a look at them right now. Furbat is built in protection sets with the Incense Burning to try to basically give him accuracy more than anything. It is time to use his ultimate just before the ultimate of the boss, nevertheless. So it's not really, I don't use the part of the ultimate energy reduction, but I'm just needing the accuracy. Exandra was built with a lot of enlightenment and skill haste to get more heals out of her. I know that in the parts where the heals basically here is only 20% of max HP and the enlightenment is only on the battle skills, but you need those heals from the battle skills to top up your champion. They are quite squishy, so that's why the enlightenment is there. I had Yola in the Zero set to basically put the debuff and the increased attack while she plays the decreased defense with the Crown Clean. And she's the first one that needs to go when the projectile spawns. You need to hit all of them. And unfortunately, you need to manual her because otherwise she's basically gonna hit everybody except one at the bottom because she has a diamond shape ultimate basically. And when she's gonna use it, she's gonna try to hit the boss as well. And one of the projectile will be left out. And this is not good because Sigrid need debuff to be able to hit all of them, and so you need to manual her basically. We're gonna have a look at that as well. But I'm using a timing as well, so you can run it on auto and expect less damage if you are on a rush and you can't be able to manual the comp. And then bring in Eli. Eli is with the River Tricks route that I got this season from the Famiander. Is built with the Emperor set because for this boss is really good. The damage we get, they basically have no attack, so we have higher attack and we do a lot of damage over here. He is built with some crit rate, crit damage, and attack. Unfortunately, the crit rate's not that high, but he hits 3 times, so he's still being able to do a lot of damage. And the last one is Sigrid. She has the arcane music box that gives more damage when we are on the shield, crit rate, and so she is built very well, at least for my gear, I would say. So she has a good crit rate, crit damage, and a little bit of accuracy. So I'm hoping time to time to be able to land that decrease attack. And she has a decent attack as well. And this is the timing. I've timed Furbat at 29.5, 30 seconds. Sigrid is going to be 16 seconds and then 3 to go. She basically going to do the attack 3 times if you are before the 50% because she doesn't get stunned. If you're after the 50%, you might have to manual her time to time to bring it back in line and use her ultimate just after Eli when the projectile spawned. Eli is going to have these ultimates at 14 and 30 seconds cooldown. If you don't want to manual, you can put Yola on 13.5, 30-second cooldown. She's going to use and mess out one of the projectile. You're going to lose a lot of damage, to be honest with you. You're going to have to deal with the recharge speed penalty, which mess a lot with your comp. So I strongly suggest not to do so. If you have the time to run it, it's 8 minutes long. I know it's quite tedious, but you should manual Yola ultimate to hit all of the projectiles, basically. This is everything from this comp. This is everything you need to know. So we can jump back to the other one and I can show you my Light Thunderbolt comp. The last comp on the bottom here is the one that does the more damage for me. It's been across the entire event. I've been able to push it up to 200 million and not having witches remain of any of those duplicate legendary artifact. It is quite impressive. It was impressive for me, at least. I was quite shocked because I didn't thought it would be possible for me to push any comp to 200 million, but I've done it with this one. It's pretty Lego heavy, to be honest, so I'm not expecting, as I said in the beginning, nobody or almost nobody to be able to replicate it exactly as it is, but there are some alternatives, not really for the damage dealer, unfortunately, but let's have a look at the gear. So I'm running Nathaniel with the artifact I got from the Pillar Trials, and it is basically perfect for him because it give him HP and Enlightenment. You can use the new book from Hellmeister event if you pull enough to get the champions, and the book is going to be doing amazing for him as well because it's going to basically increase the shields, increase the duration of the shield as well. And he's built with the Mona Lisa set to bring some additional healing. Boss seems to remove the healing, the continuous healing buff. So because of that, the healing factor from this champion is not as great. So you have to let him free and basically try to get him to use his ultimate, his battle skills as soon as possible, as quick, as often as possible to get those heal up. So the book or this artifact over here for sure will help him quite a lot. The second champions that I'm using is Ergander. Ergander has built with the protection set, with the crowning clean, enough accuracy to do the job. Is basically placing there the decrease attack every time we get hit, and that's why it's in this comp. When you are past the 50%, if you need to deal with the decrease attack, you can swap him out for Vikuk. I've not been able to run that comp, I believe, maybe because I don't have powerful artifacts that will keep my team alive and going, like putting the hourglass on Nathaniel, for example, to cool down much quicker his shield. So I've not been able to run that comp very efficiently. So I'm still running the comp that I was using before the 50% mark. Still doing 150 million, more than 150 million. So for me, it's more than good for now. And then I'm running the 3 Thunderbolt Legendary that I've been able to pull in the beginning of the season. So the key here has been Nissa. Nissa has been super surprising for me. Once you work out how she works in the passive and the ultimate, she's going to bring a lot of damage. She bring roughly a third of the damage that Perkunti does, and it's what pushed this comp way farther. It's not just the damage she does, it's also how she boosts the damage for Perkunti, because basically she's going to activate the electrocutes every single time it get placed or activated. And so it's going to boost per Conte passive that builds his attacks and damage much, much higher. So the way this is going to work, I'll show you with the timing when we get over there. But the next champions will be Shenecton. Shenecton also on scroll like Nissa. It's built with the River Tricks to push his attack. He does damage for his passive as well. Basically unleashing this attack damage with 70% chance of inflicting an electrocute through his passive if electrocutions are out there. So when the minions are out, you're going to have a nexus of damage keep going, boosting per content back up after you unleash his ultimate. So he builds the damage up for the next turn, basically. He is built with the Emperor set to try to push a bit damage out of M. He is not really doing much damage, to be honest, but any contribution help. And the last champion is going to be Per Conte. Is crit cap, a lot of crit damage, good attack. Is scrolled, is an Emperor set with the arcane music box to boost his damage when he's under shield. And he does an amazing job, as you can see. Now, let me show you the placement and the timing. So this is the placement I'll be using for the scope. Nathaniel in the center with Ergand is going to run forward and Shinacton also is going to run forwards and the other two on the back. This is due to the fact that Nathaniel has Nexus around him for the heals and the continuous heals and dispelling the debuff. I'm using him obviously to try to take everything, the decrease attack out and to keep the team going. So when they run forwards, they're still going to be protected by the shields. They're still going to be protected by the continuous heal when he's there. And they're going to take off the debuff just in case they have them. So this is the timing I've been using. Nathaniel is free to go, so to keep the team running. The first champion is going to use the ultimate is going to be Nissa. I need her to place it out as soon as possible because basically what she's going to be doing is triggering electrocution every time electrocution is placed. So Per Kunta is going to hit after she places her ultimate. He's going to basically reset to 0 his buff through his passive after he unleashed the ultimate. And so you need to recharge it very quickly because the projectiles don't stay out for too long. So what I've been doing is manually Nissa ultimates to hit the projectiles and the boss. So the actual orb move between the projectiles and the boss when the projectile despawns. I'm using Per Kunte after to unleash his ultimate, do the damage, reset to 0, and then Shine Actin is going to place the electrocution on all the projectiles, triggering a lot of damage from Nissa and both passive basically, and recharging Per Kulte back to 30 stacks of damage instantly. And that's pretty much how this comp works. You can run it on auto if you want. You're still losing a bit of damage as we saw in the comp before with this timing. But if you manual Nissa, you're going to have basically the recharge back to 30 instantly. And this is everything. We saw the gear, we saw the placement, and we saw the damage differential between 50% or after 50%. I hope this has been useful for you. There is another video coming out soon with the last 2 comps for Radiant and Ice. And if you enjoy it, please like and subscribe. And I'm going to see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silence God.